Kds versus Stmn. Who's gonna take the win in this one? Both of them with very experienced players. Both of them played at the World Finals last year already. Colt is gonna be the first pick here. Stmn, as you said, Pedro likes to go with those aggressive brawlers. Colt, I don't know if he's super aggressive, but he is definitely there for the damage onto that high save.
He's not the most aggressive, but we saw that before, right? If Colt is open, you need to pick it. It's super flex. You can win the lane, you can do a lot of damage. You can even defend long range also. So I think Colt is those picks that maybe are not the best. That for me is, but not everyone can agree with me. But if it's open, you need to pick it in these kind of maps.
Now I'm curious where the damage dealers come in, because obviously Colt's gone. Petty, not necessarily what I was expecting. Melody was, though. Melody, one of those brawlers that I think you have to give yourself a little high save damage to match what Colt is outputting. It's a brawler that's just solely focused on charging to the other end, using those musical notes and revolving them around the high save. What is the benefit of Penny here? Is this to establish a turret, more of a control-oriented pick, or what?
I think as we talk, yeah, the KDS who's gonna look for the control game. They need to make the game not chaotic at all. That Melody surprised me with that doesn't fit too much in the playstyle, but probably they're gonna look for these two solid lanes so Melody can do the damage.
I'm looking forward to maybe some aggression still on the right-hand side, but it's going to be Barry first, maybe to back up something aggressive. Pedro, you mentioned so often how Stmn likes to play the aggressive brawlers. Nina's still open, Lily, Kaze, anything to deal some damage onto safe. What's it going to be?
I have to say that I'm still surprised that they went this aggro. Probably it's going to be, I mean, I don't know. Back then we used to go with a BB, with a mech, but I think they are a bit out of meta right at this point, but they need something really. Maybe a Miko could be the chance, maybe a Daryl.
Game not over.
I was this close to say maybe an Elvin.
It was the next one, I swear. It was the next one, I swear.
I promise.
But it was like, oh, Stmn's playing super aggressively. They have an aggressive brawler literally every single set. And they were like, Pedro, you voted for us, but we're gonna... yeah, not do what you tell us. We're gonna not follow Coach Pedro's advice.
I mean, it's I cannot expect anything expected from this team.
Expect the unexpected. Kenny, what do you think is gonna be the last pick for KDS? You have 6 seconds.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna come up with a prediction in time here. Otis, this place is all. I'm glad you're having equal reactions to me, Pedro. This is great copium for me, because when that berry came out, there was never a world where I was gonna predict that.
I have to say, in stats say that the most trained brawler from KDS is Melody, the second one is Penny, and the third one is Otis.
Okay, and Stmn have to know that, right? So this is either the ultimate way to combat that team, or they're just that confident in their individual strategy to allow that to go through. Bobby and the boys playing against an old organization that they made a lot of history with, the 2023 runner-up, the highlight of that organization, and now they've entrusted Stmn in new hands. Very successful at the World Finals. They have been underrated. They're once again underrated today. Now they come home with newfound confidence, trying to take down Patchy, Bobby, and Sam.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what we talk, right? The KDS need to go on a slow game. I don't know if they can do it against a Berry. Berry's gonna at some point get a super heal up. It's gonna get the wall. They cannot really break the wall, so Juan Carlos can put a really good turret offensive. I'm curious when Stmn, if they're going to be patient enough to wait for the opportunity to go aggro, or maybe Taco's going to play a bit more YOLO, more alone, to try to get that save by his own. Let's see.
Taco's currently gunning down Sands, has been a real presence on this right-hand side and will immediately tear open those walls. So that's something to look out for. Now there's no room for a Penny turret there specifically. 8-Bit can't use it on his own side, but something to watch out for. He will try and attempt to use it on either that wall, or if they want to get on offense, the little square-shaped one in the middle with the lollipops is what he's going to be aiming at.
Yeah, probably Juan Carlos is going to put, first of all, this defensive turret, then maybe a bit more higher. I'll probably, if the game is frozen, as we can see at this point, they're going to wait 1 minute and 20 left and then do the last push.
Now that they've got the numbers, Pain expanding to the left-hand side, 8-Bit sprinting up the middle, whatever sprint looks up like the slow arcade machine, but Melody matches musical notes encircling that high safe. It'll be enough to get them close to that 75% marker. And once again, we're basically all tied up.
Yeah, they got the kill on, I think it was on Bobby, and they wanted to go aggro. I don't know if it's worth it, because when you go aggro, you are going to feed the Melody, and if the Melody gets to your safe, it's going to do just one shield by his own.
Now up an entire zone of this height zone safe. Sands occupying space in the middle alongside Bobby as Patchy places down a turret. Tacos can't break the walls on that left-hand side. That's part of the benefit of the Indestructible. I'm sure that's why KDS have enjoyed using this brawler in particular, because it's a little bit trickier, especially when you obtain middle control for them to get a takedown on it.
Yeah, they need to swap lanes as soon as possible. Stamina, right? They need the Berry on the Penny lane. Now it's going to come a lot of damage. Sans has still full HP, 3 nodes on, and if he manages to survive a bit, he's going to do insane amount of damage on the save.
Oh, and a nice takedown on Colt. Pain still hasn't been able to really focus down that Penny turret. In fact, that ice cream splatter just short of the mark, so 6,800 still remaining. STMN have to be the final ones to strike. With 10 seconds on the clock, they do have a very hypercharge. One Carlos there to back him up. Oh, what a takedown just in the nick of time. This could have saved KDS's game. Now Sands can sprint up the middle of this map, encircling that heist safe with a lot of noise. Beautifully done by KDS. That one kill made all the difference.
Yeah, that was all about that kill. Maybe he was a bit low to go. Maybe he should have healed up 1 or 2 ticks with his ice cream and then go. But I guess he understood that he was run out of time, so he had to go. And there was a really good kill from KDS to get the win.
Feels like a very even match. And this Barry pick making a little more sense now. Now that I see a Penny turret down on the map, as you pointed out, Barry has to be laning that. So look what they do. Pain are actually immediately going to that left-hand side, because if they do establish a Penny turret, he can just throw down a few ice cream cones, immediately take that down. So Penny is significantly less valuable. Her turret is the best part about her.
Yeah, I think they need to chill a bit more. Stamina and KDS. KDS too, actually. If they come, Sans will feed. So and they don't, I think Patchy will. Maybe they trust that Patchy will do some damage on the save with the turret. But I think it's easier for Stamina to wait a bit.
A little patience, but now that they've got a lot of damage, KDS being stuffed in spawn. Juan Carlos, so a little over-aggressive, so now the numbers sway towards KDS. Penny turret on the ground, but as we're seeing here, Barry, just a couple shots, will get a little bit of incendiary damage from the Penny turret. Now a Salty Barrel going down for a little extra protection. Sands trying to pop a shield of his own. Will get a lot of value out of this interaction. So close, but not quite 75%.
Yeah, I mean, I think Stamina is just not being patient at all. And Patchy is, especially Patchy is punishing a lot that aggression, right? Not only that he's making out of space, but he's kind of doing some damage on the save, getting some kills, and it's looking really good for KDS at this point.
But now Pain just sprinting down this left-hand lane. Patchy forced to back away with low health points, and Bobby receiving a lot of heavy fire. Otis is a defensive brawler, can be a flexible lane, but into something like an 8-bit in a Colt just won't match.
Yeah, I mean, Sans just need to wait for the opportunity to jump in. Pain is doing a lot of damage on the save, making a lot of time. I don't know if they're going to be able to take him out. Sans wait all the super on Pain. He got a new one. He's going to go later. But 1 shield and a few percentage of difference. That few percentage is going to be really important. Now Stamina just is setting up the defending, and they just need to try to hold for 35 seconds.
KDS trying to erase this large lead coming out of STMN, and now it is equally matched. Sands getting whatever extra bonus points he can. Bobby there for backup. Fat splatter hits the ground. One Carlos. Oh, double tap there. Patchy gets a hypercharge on the ground, and Pain has to multitask. He has to choose this heist turret, or he has to go for the enemy brawlers. He's prioritizing turret, but that allows KDS to take the middle. Thankfully for them, STMN have grabbed some kills. Red roster has to pour on this heist safe. Otherwise, it's going to be a KDS round, 24%, so KDS have expanded. Watch out for a super coming out of Sands. It is just enough to take down to the other end. Once again, KDS with some beautiful heist map and a lot of math going down there. Those little interactions really start to add up.
Yeah, I think KDS control played really good every stage of the game, right? When the game was controlled, they were freezing really good. When the game was chaotic, that Melody was doing the move. And yeah, I think Stamina didn't know where his job was on the game too much. They tried, their playstyle and didn't work. They tried over and over. I think they should have realized that feeding Sans was not the best. Even if you need to stay 2 minutes and 20 seconds not doing anything, and then you go the last 10, was going to be worth it. That, yeah, they couldn't.
So Penny turret doing a really good job. Today, Patchy's really stood out to me for this team. I feel like he's hitting a lot of shots just in general. That was something I noticed in match number 1. And in this case, you talked about it in the beginning, but they got the 3 brawlers they've played the most. Especially in hindsight, do you really feel like STMN were just confident in their strategy, or do you think this was their solution to try and take down the KDS draft?
I think they were just confident to do the playstyle. Also, when in this meta, these 3 brawlers are not 3 that you can really target ban, so you can't really waste your bans on them. So they just try to find a solution.
Tried. Good keyword.
And that's a topic we always like to bring back as well. Sometimes comfort picks are better than the meta picks. I mean, on the left-hand side, we don't have any buffy brawlers. We don't have any of those brawlers that have showed up a lot of times, maybe Otis, in the general meta. But for those guys, those are just the brawlers that they love to play. And I feel like, Kenny, that's something we've seen last year from KDS, or this roster playing for a different org last year as well. We see them pick those Jeans, Pipers, just brawlers that they are generally good at.
Yeah, I think just not overdoing it in the aggression. I mean, Penny, I think, is a little bit of a niche pick there on that map in particular, but a great way to kind of throw back to some of these older brawlers, because Penny used to be a factor on a mode like this, but in the day of buffies, I feel like it's easy to be forgotten. To Stamina's detriment, though, you talked about it. I mean, in the stats, Penny shouldn't have been a surprise to them. They were fully equipped to deal with it, and the fact that they couldn't get the job done still, I think, is one, credit to KDS, it's a great strategy, but two, makes me a little nervous on Stamina's end, because the fact that they were so telegraphed, that they just went with what they've basically done in every practice, a little concerning to me.
Yeah, it's true, but I have to say that the Penny has also really hard matchup there against the Berry, and he managed to do really good, so I can expect a really good series from Pachi.
Rico's double bend, Mina, RT, both brawlers we've seen quite often on Knockout are both going to be picked up immediately. For me, Gus could show up here once more, especially now. Backing up Ollie would definitely be an option. We saw Ollie also paired with Byron, so we'll see what KDS is going to pick as that last pick. Also might want to react to whatever Stamina picks up next.
Yeah, probably Stamina is going to go for a long range. I would say Angelo probably, or Byron, to also help a bit on that Mina. And then they will go, I would say, maybe the Brock opening for the Oli can be really good. Something that control a bit the map, but for sure the sniper is gonna come.
With Charlie out of the way, is there any potential Cord comes in as anti-tank here? Because you talked about wall break being one solution. Would that be another direction that's possible here?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, but I don't know if you can really hold the with a Cordelius or whatever, or we have Spike is banned, right? But I don't know if really the anti-tank can hold the Oli. Yeah, and they went not for anti-tank.
I think Ray could still be an option here. Anything to open up the map, or a thrower, anything that could go well against this Meeple, because on the other side we don't really have anything to actually use that Meeple's mentioned gadgets to the full potential. But we're gonna see what they actually will pick, and it is gonna be the Grey. I have it too, Pedro.
That was a really good guess. I was expecting more something like a gas, like something a sniper that they can hold the Meeple especially, right? Because we have the RT already, and they have double aggro, but double sniper, sorry. But the Grey can really break a bit the map, and can help. That TP could help the Oli to go aggro.
KDS with a 1-0 lead. Both of these squads, old guard of North America. STMN a shocker at the World Finals and are now trying to return home. Prove that they've still got it. They weren't the best in North America last year, though. That was a storyline for them. They definitely squeezed by. They got very lucky to make it to a guaranteed World Final spot, but they certainly proved their worth when they got there.
Yeah, I mean, they are not playing, any of these teams is playing bad, right? But they are there's a fight of play styles. And yeah, we can see in the right a fight of a skill that Sans won in this case. And yeah, they need to, I don't know what's the best matchup for each other. This is going to be a bit crazy that Stamina got the mid right now. They're trying to push them. That was a really good control from Oli, and that gets the kill. They still have the pressure, though.
Yeah, this is tough now that the Meeple Slipper has been dropped as Bobby with low HP. Oh, and Pain will get the tag. KDS were the first to strike, but STMN are able to clean up, and now they have a massive lead. This is going to be really difficult for Sans.
Yeah, these days, once again, it's all about the pressure. You can get to the minute, you can do a lot of damage. Even if you die and your teammate follow, also needs a lot of team play, right? You can still get the 2 kills.
Yeah, I was about to say the KDS comms were unbelievable there to get the hypnosis, the follow through, but STMN had enough damage there banked that Pain made a heads up play, was able to run it down, use that Meeple super, and it will give them a round. Fortunately for KDS though, full house. You got supers for everybody. Patchy can go walking hook in the TP. That's something I'm looking out for onto that Meeple in particular.
Yeah, but Meeple is not playing the box, he's playing probably stun, so it's dangerous to jump on him. Also, he has the stun that... The problem is that he needs the stun for 2 different brawlers, right? You need to stun the Grey on TP, and you need to stun the Ali super, so... Oh! That was a great hook.
Nice tap, but this time Mina will escape. Heals coming out from Byron. Stmn clustered on that top right-hand side. This seems like a good opportunity to use that Meeple super, because otherwise they weren't going to be able to shoot around these walls. This would be KDS buying time with the clock, the fog starting close in, so now at least Stamina aren't backed up against their spawn side.
Yeah, I don't know how Patchy has already full setup, has already the hypercharge and the super, and probably he has the hook already back, and he's gonna TP on the Byron, and it's gonna be an easy kill.
Oh, and now another one as well. Gets the walking cane, breaks that wall. Pain low HP. A gadget out of Tacos because why not? Just trying to charge up some utility successfully does. Now a little more dangerous. One tap away, just a sliver of HP. Bobby just needs to make one tag. Sands will be there for extra protection and just gonna hug onto this wall. The green fog will slowly close in, and KDS have evened it out.
Yeah, I mean, have been really close both games. Anyone can bring this home. I think it's a bit easier for KDS, right? Is Sans just make a mark on someone. Patchy just need to TP in and get the kill, or probably on any of them. Maybe not the Mina with the shield, but now Stmn is going a bit more aggro.
Just off the mark there from Patchy. This time he is going to be missing as Pain marches down this left hand in. Bobby with the super available. The Hypnosis, the biggest factor as Tacos activates the triple king, cleans up, grabs a kill. Now Pain with the purple button as well. Patchy just has to use the teleport to escape. They've left Juan Carlos all alone though. The super though. Juan Carlos gets the dub. Stamina take care of the rest. Beautiful game there. What execution.
Yeah, that was I can see a lot of team play from Stamina, right? You can see how everyone follow up the calls, how everyone push at the same time, and that was game changer this time.
Great stuff as Stamina needed a bounce back. KDS taking that first set, now looking for an equalizer or the red in. We'll see how this plays out in the early game. It's been Meeple or Tacos clinging to this left-hand side wall. Now they're double engaging. Bobby and Patchy. Look at the cane going through. Pain getting the heals. Juan Carlos doing a great job of playing this hybrid role of support with the heals, but also tapping.
Yeah, we can see that KDS has two really gadgets, right? The hook and the control from Bobby and Patchy are really strong, and once they use it or miss it, is when Stamina push them hard, right? So they need to be careful to don't miss. Yeah, if they hit, it's probably a kill. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is, the control, right? You control, you bring it to home, then you just need that teammate to help you a bit, and then it's an easy kill.
A little extra salt to the wound. Pain burned a super, didn't grab a kill out of it, and KDS in the meantime have all the utility charged up. It's something that Stamina have done good up until this moment. They just haven't quite been able to play around both the walking cane plus gadget coming out of Ollie as well. This time it's going to be a KDS cleanup crew. Easy money there for them. 1 round in the bank.
Yeah, 1 second, Patchy, start of second round, he has everything already. I don't know what is he doing to feed too much, but Mina should not be the one feeding because, I don't know, like, it's too much. He's just doing really good. He's all over the place, hitting everyone and getting fit, and it's really good for his team.
Tacos has a hurricane charged up, but Patchy going for a walking cane, just a little outside of stretching distances. Now Tacos expanding down this left-hand side. Pain going to be the control brawler in the mid, and Juan Carlos there with a super, can dump heals at a moment's notice. Waiting for that purple button pop from Patchy. Sands spacing the floor alongside his teammates. They have to keep an eye on Bobby, though. I imagine a hurricane's coming out here. That's exactly what happens. No heals available for him, though. Instead, it's Pain charging up. Patchy nose diving at Juan Carlos. Gets a trade. Sands with a tap as well. 1v1 interaction. Mina with a hurricane, but Sands charging up. Who should be favored in this situation?
If it came to really late, Sans maybe have the favor. He has also a TP close that's going to give him a bit of shield. Also, the shield of Mina is not going to defend anything from the super of Sans, right?
Now a windmill going down, just out of caution. Now a kick into the air. Sands doing his best, but an immediate shutdown. That looked like a hypercharge, right?
Yeah.
Looked like they cashed in there just to ensure they got the round.
Yeah, he didn't want to miss this opportunity, right? Especially if he lose the round, they lose this game, and he wanted to secure it for sure. Yeah.
Sands all alone on this right-hand side. Bobby staying closer to his teammates here. Up and down, waiting for any opportunity to strike. Stamina have done a good job of not isolating themselves. They don't want to be alone because otherwise it's a walking cane or a hypnotized combo. This time, though, it's Pain caught lacking. Once again, though, Juan Carlos immediately responds with the heals. Pain has a complete chance of staying alive in that moment.
Now Patchy have super, Sans have hypercharge. It's really easy for KDS to get a kill. He just need to get the mark. Patchy close enough to TP and it's a kill, right?
Oh, but this Hypercharge is so frustrating to deal with. It ultimately is a trade, though. Hypercharge for Bobby as well. He's going to get no value out of it. And on top of that, he's pre-popped the gadget. In the meantime, Stamina also exhausts one of their valuable resources. They can no longer walk through walls. Patchy, the mechanics persevering. The Rage Quit goes down. Oh, it's a trade! Bobby burned. Patchy will ultimately fall. STMN with a nasty steal.
Yeah, that was a really good cover by Tacos, right? He saw his teammate on danger and he wasted everything literally to defend him. He got the kill, and Gray just gave up and was a set for Stamina.
Chaotic agents, to say the least there, and Stamina, of course, thriving in that. That was one thing you observed about how they play the game. It feels like we've got two very contrasting play styles, and it's really cool to watch unfold. And now that we've got finally what feels like an even match on our hands for the days, I'm really excited to see how this progresses.
Yeah, I mean, we're tired of the 3-0, right? So yeah, having this is always good for us, for the audience, and yeah, what can we say?
As we said before, we want to see as many sets as we can possibly see, and I feel like this one is even closer than what we just seen from Tribe Gaming versus Team Electros. So as you said rightfully, Kenny, we finally got a game on our hands. And what a game it was. Also in this set, we see some highlights once more. Bobby had some great plays here with the Ollie. Tacos really good on that Mina. The two aggressive brawlers stuck out the most to me.
This match is finally warranted of the snack we've been looking for. Popcorn, of course, our choice on the desk. But on the other end, still some good stacks, and you can see it here. Really even. I mean, Bobby and Payne each with 1, 4 for Patchy. Really the only separator was those last couple rounds where Tacos just pushes them over the edge. In a game mode like this, I felt like it was really interesting to see that Meatball pick, because it's something in the East Asian influence that I kind of conditioned my brain to see, is sometimes they go in there with a Cordelius on some crazy pulls. We saw that last weekend. North America do not stray from the normal course of action, though. I actually think that Meatball Rage Quit, the gadget that stuns you, was a really good idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good to see how these teams play really good together, right? You can see the synergy, you can see how everyone follow up. I could see that especially on Stamina, and I'm really impressed for Patchy skill. He's showing a really good level, individual, really good micro, and he's trying to hold that team on his back, I think, and I don't know, it's going to be enough.
We're heading over to Pinhole Punt now, a map where it's all about mid control, so you want to have some brawlers with some decent area coverage. With Crow out of the way, I think Otis is the next best choice here. Might even be better, honestly. Otis is just super good into any tank, so definitely a solid third pick. Really covers the area and gives you that mid control. Pinhole Punt, yeah, is that map. If you have mid control, you basically already won.
Yeah, I mean, probably we're going to see that spike from KDS, maybe in Amina, something that help you to get the mid, right? Also, the Otis on Stamina hand is already good, so they will need to find this Poco is banned, Crow is banned. So yeah, we see the Mina already, but we need still something that help to grant them to keep the mid, because Mina is really good at granting. You just dash and they put the shield, but you need something to come next on your back to keep the control.
Based on the bans that went down too, we're running out of the standard aggressive options, because Mortis and Kenji are certainly two of them. Mina would be the third. The other one I'm looking out for is the pesky Alligator. Not sure it's going to come in here necessarily for KDS, but especially with Otis out of the way, it does allow STMN a little more access to that. Still plenty of anti-tank options though, so I think this is going to be a lot of contrasting ideas from both sides. That's a very control-oriented composition if I've ever seen one, in contrast to something like a Mina that definitely wants to be up in your face.
Meg is something we only ever see on Pinhole Punt at the moment, I feel. Very good also at keeping that area control, and as you said, Pedro, Mina can get you the area, but Meg can actually hold onto it. Maybe they're gonna follow up with something to support her even more. The longer Meg can actually stay in her mecha, the better. So following up with something like a Baron and Gus would help her a ton. Now on the right hand side, we already have the Otis. Pierce still left open here, Shelly, but of course something completely different. Mo, also a brawler we've seen quite often on Brawl Ball today, because he's again one of those flex brawlers.
Yeah, it's really flex, and also it's already a goal condition. It's really important in this meta that there is a lot of hyper out of abilities that it's kind of easy to defend the goal. You need to have those tools to get the kills, get the pressure to make those goals for possible.
Part of composition building in Brawl Ball especially, you need those goal scorers, and I think having Mo as a little flex option there is nice. Buster, one that I definitely didn't expect. Any intuition here, any gut reaction to that?
I mean, I'm loving it because, yeah, we can see completely different approach to the same map. We see this stamina full aggro, and we are gonna see so really good synergy, right? Once Mo has the super, Buster is gonna come behind. If Otis is able to mute someone long range, Mo is gonna jump. And in the other side, we have KDS, full traditional. We have this mech and Spike. Mina obviously is a new brawler, but this is still that kind of playstyle where make just space for others just to hold them up.
And once again, that's something we see so often from this roster. They stick with the good old proven brawlers, Spike and Mech here. And then maybe in the past it was Immortus. He's banned out though, so now they're going to go with Mina, another one of those brawlers that can go in aggressively easily and can get out of danger. So even though they don't have any heals on their comp, it's actually well-rounded.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Let's see who is able to win this playstyle matchup. But I'm gonna go with Stamina. I think they have much more tools, they have more chances to go, die, and maybe if they just need two of them to work, right?
Buster, a really unique option here, but one at a professional level. It's always, to some degree, it feels like a round. I just didn't expect to see him on something like a Brawl Ball. Bobby going to be pioneering this mega pick. Sans, the aggressive brawler on the left-hand side. Tacos gets a takedown. Now with the reflective shield, will back those boots off. Sans just going to have to retreat.
Yeah, obviously, KDS is going to have much more tools to keep the mid, but this is not about Hudson, right? This is not about controlling the mid, it's about making goals. Stamina is going to defend really good, so they just need one chance to go aggro to get the goal and then suffer the rest of the game.
They sent Tacos straight at Sans. It was a great decision. It's now Payne can toss this ball over, and he's going to follow it as well. Grabs it, but dishes it out immediately. A little bit of fumbling there as now Sans is able to grab it completely. They moved it over to the left-hand side. And instead of Stamina with mid-control and the ball in their possession, it's just immediately gone to the blue side.
Yeah, I mean, Stamina is going to lose the control at some point. They are holding it for so long, actually, but at some point they will lose it, and they are going to suffer the whole game. Stamina is a suffer composition until they have the moment to go on.
Ooh, Patchy maybe overdoing it a tad. Just wanted to ensure that that goal went in, but it looked like a hypercharged super going out. So that's a lot of utility wasted.
Yeah, I mean, this is a moment where you don't want to be, right? KD, oh, Sandy went for the goal, and I think he could have even shoot and dash, and went for the goal that he wanted to, again, passive draft, passive comp, you don't want to get risk. And it's a really good decision, I think.
Yeah, it was a borderline call. I think 800 HP would have been one-tapped to any of those brawlers. The pull going on to Patchy, he barely stays alive. This is big for KDS. We're going to dash forward. Payne has to exhaust his super just to stay up. Juan Carlos playing goalkeeper will dump this ball off to Tacos, and now a cutoff on that left-hand side. Somehow, Otis staying alive. Payne dishing out damage on the bottom right-hand, and Stamina have climbed their way out of spawn.
Yeah, the Payne is making a lot of time there. I know it's going to be enough. But Bobby with the hypercharge, he'd lose the mecha, but Taco is alone. Taco will either to retreat or either die.
Once again, a team wiping. KDS with ball in hand will just pocket it. Patchy going to ensure that not a single member of that red roster touch it. He's taking a full victory lap down to the bottom left-hand side while the other two deal with the middle brawlers. Payne without a super can't stretch the map. KDS, once they had that 1-0 lead, it was all about the kills. They just never really wanted to give Stamina a chance at marching to the net.
Yeah, I mean, KDS know what he needed to do. They got lucky, not lucky, but they did really good to score in that early goal that maybe was not expected. And once you can score the goal with this comp, you need to hold. So I think Stamina need to try to cap the at least the control of the ball. Sometimes if you can suffer, but if the ball is on your corner or wherever, you can do that time to find your opportunity, your chance and your opportunity. And if KDS have the control of the mid, at the start he had the control of the ball, no? So it's really hard for Stamina to do this.
Last time it was an even fight off the early game, even borderline STMN. Right now it is all KDS. 2v2 situation as Tacos will be forced to use a super. Bobby pops out of the mech. Who can get to the ball first? It is Bobby. He clings onto it and is able to waltz on in. So an early lead, this time in less than 30 seconds for the blue side.
Yeah, they are doing that. It looks really easy. Buster is suffering so much this game. I didn't expect him to suffer so much against this team. But, I mean, what can I say? There's a lot of HP, a lot of damage, a lot of aggression, and that's the goal, and that's the set for KDS. And we have the 2-1 on the game already.
Well, I'm slowing down on my popcorn eating. This is a tough situation. It was looking so good here. We were finally getting a treat of a match, but KDS making quick work of STMN. This is really starting to play out the overall, the large eagle's eye view of these teams, it feels like Stmn have some unique drafts. They're not afraid to get strappy with it. But KDS playing the much older style Brawl Stars, that SK Gaming Brawl Ball that you kind of pioneered back in the day, right? I think that's something that casual players and pro players won't necessarily be aligned on. You won't see it with your bad randoms at home. KDS, once they got a lead, they're not trying to force the ball in the net. They are ensuring that Stmn never get a chance at it. And once they had a lead, they never let go. Unfortunately for Stmn in that game number 2, it was just so dominant from KDS, they were able to shut it down in about 45 seconds.
If KDS wins this one, I'm getting super excited just because we're gonna have one team picking some of those good old conventional brawlers versus Team Electros, that new team, fresh ideas, and completely different draft. That's such an exciting grand finals. Still, Stamina, if you win, it's gonna be super nice as well.
Yeah, I have to say that KDS is playing this old playstyle, but they are being able to manage with against the new ones, right? Against the aggro, against the surprises, and they are playing it really good. I'm loving this, yeah.
I can't believe you stole my popcorn, Kenny.
Look, you handed me the popcorn, and if I am told to eat on the casting desk, you rest assured, folks at home, I will deliver. I am a solid caster. Say what you want about the man, I can eat.
You want some too, Pedro?
No, I'm
please,
fine.
share it.
I'm sad.
Class.
Stamina is
Everybody all around.
losing. I don't like this.
Okay.
Ooh, your predictions. Oh no. We're heading over to Double Swoosh now, another map where we could see some good old classics, Pedro. And we know Sandy Mid is one of those brawlers that we love to see. We might be able to see some Stu here. Gus, some of these brawlers are just a mainstay. And Sandy comes out of the gate right away. Steve, I can do it too.
Here, take some popcorn. Great call.
Thank you.
Great call.
I deserve that now.
I mean, Double Swoosh, Sandy's a really good flex, really good pick in the early draft, right? Because it's really good for control, it's good for vision. You can play it as a mid, you can play it as a side. It's really, really a safe pick at the start. And KDS playing safe, don't risking anything expected from them.
So Sandy being picked up too. Now one of the brawlers that's been a little bit more popular this second weekend in Tara, I think gets shut down. It's a little bit harder to run, but a lot of the times in Pro Brawl Stars, they're going to be using Tara to try and land a pull to steal gems. So as a result, Stmn, maybe this was the intention all along, but when Mortis is available, it's hard to pass up on. They take Otis, who is typically anti-aggro or tank. The mute button would normally shut down Mortis. That's why you're seeing it in combination.
Spiker actually double ban on this one, so KDS cannot pick him up here. Otherwise, he would also be one of those good old classics. KDS so far following that topic we talked about. Sandy has always been a super good brawler on a map like this one. Terra as well, Ember maybe. Those are brawlers that we usually see come in on that right-hand side. And Terra is here.
Yeah, I mean,
we actually can predict their draft because this is the exact same draft we've seen for the last 3 years.
Yeah, but actually, it's kind of easy, right? You need an anti-tank. What anti-tank are open? Spike. What all the anti-tank are open, right? The Spike, Tara, and Shelly. You need Spike is banned, so 50-50. You go for the Tara. It's
Ember and Spike are both banned out. Terra's the only logical option. Or you pick something like a Hank like yesterday, you know?
Ooh, don't tempt me with a good time now. If we saw a Hank coming out of KDS, that would be wildly different than the type of plays they've made today. Instead of it's a Charlie, I'm assuming this is for the Cocoon into something like a Mortis. They have multiple options, I would say, at a middle brawler. Tara for Vision, now they've got Sandy Sandstorm, and Charlie can safely drop a Cocoon gadget if she needs to hold on to those gems. I'm sure that's the intention.
Yeah, I can see a really good last pick as a Janet. It's mid laner. You also are safe against the Cocoon, safe against the Tara. Or if you want to put the Otis mid, maybe you can have a number on the lane.
Janet would be one of those brawlers we also are used to seeing in a map like this one, but we're looking at Stamina, so they're not going to follow that good old draft that we are talking about, Pedro. They're going to show us something new. Procomid, I guess it's not that inventive, but still something that we haven't seen in a while. Poco is going to help out that Mortis with his screeching solo star power. He also dishes out some damage. And honestly, on the other side, we don't have too much HP, so Poco should do just fine. I think he also has like a tad bit more range than Sandy, so that could come in handy.
Yeah, at this point, Stamina can play anyone mid, right? You can put the Otis and Poco pushing on the lane. We have seen that, right? That is possible. And if the game comes too chaotic, we can have that Mortis mid grabber.
Have to do it. KDS with a 2-1 lead, just one set away from going to a grand finals. Last year, Bobby and Sand ended the season with a bang. won the monthly finals. The only team other than Elevate and Tribe Gaming at the time to do so. Taco's diving forward. Bobby shuts it down. Patchy now on the right-hand side can operate well. They're actually playing Juan Carlos. I would say this is the most iconic brawler on the lane option. Like you said, there are multiple options for who they could have gone in. It looks like it's going to be Pain for now.
Yeah, I mean, Stamina tried to go double lane at the start to surprise a bit. Was not bad because you grant your lane, but in the other hand, you have Bobby full pressure on the mid, grabbing all the gems. So now you need to do a bit of combat.
So a super going down for Patchy. Will suck up Tacos and get the elimination. And lots of hypercharges for KDS. They're going to be playing around this Tara one especially. Thankfully for them, they have a lead. He'll just go ahead and exhaust it here. Could be potentially stealing all the gems. They go down. Tacos has to grab these and goes in, dives out immediately. I think New didn't have a chance at that. Bobby now going to cocoon an enemy as well. This is complete control for KDS.
Yeah, I mean, Stamina have a lot of HP on his team. KDS just need to shoot some teams just auto-aim a bit even, and you will have Super and Hyper so soon, right? So often. And now we are going Sans with the Uzi Sans with his first Hyper. The other two teammates have already used the Hyper, and it's going to be really hard for Stamina to combat this.
Mortis goes down, another cocoon out for Bobby, so 10 gems in his pocket. Sans can play full-on bodyguard now, and Pain going to be erased from the map. Released back down for now, 28 HP. He's clinging on to any hope. A fat splatter doing his best. Taco's just trying to find where Bobby is, but once again is pulled back by the Tara Super. The team play out of KDS have pushed them to a match point.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing really good, really together, really packed. Right as soon as they see the Mortis or the Pogo coming, they just pinch. They feed a lot. If they don't get the kill, they make the enemy to retreat minimum. So they get time, they get supers, they get hypers, and they just use it really good to keep the lead.
Never really felt like Stmn were in that one. KDS never wavering from having possession of those gems. This time it's Pain, the first one to strike. Bobby will match by grabbing the one on his spawn side. Tacos lurking right-hand side, trying to rely on this grasp. But the spawners are such a good tool to scout them out. And on top of that, Tara just naturally has so much vision with her regular shot.
Yeah, Tara has really good matchups against the Mortis. I think they should swap as soon as possible. Maybe they could even put the Poco on the Tara. They can even put the Mortis mid grabber, for sure. They should do that, because if not, it's going to have a really bad matchup every lane.
Sans now able to put to sleep and lulls goodbye to Tacos. Still a gym count for KDS, but more importantly, they have completely shifted up to this two-pronged indestructible. KDS are deep in enemy territories. Stmn trying to expand. Now Sans dangerously close to dying. Juan Carlos there to strike. It looks like Patchy trying to cycle out those bats from Tacos does, and now is healing off the Tara Super. KDS just putting on a clinic here this set.
Yeah, Juan Carlos is now coming aggro on the left. They need to do something really different to make the difference here, so they can really get the game back, so they are not out, because remember that this match point for KDS.
Feels like the first signs of cracks though. Patchy used his super to get Pain, couldn't steal those gems, and cost himself his life on the other end as well. Now Sans, to make up for this, has to drop a hypercharged Sandstorm just to make sure they can stay afloat. Juan Carlos popping a gadget, questionable decision to dive in, but at least it burns the clock a little bit more. It's allowed Mortis to respawn. Pain can comfortably sit on this right-hand side, but KDS know exactly where they are.
Yeah, I mean, Tacos when aggro tried to make a bit of time. He gave gems to the team, right, making some pressure. But now Bobby have the hyper. Oh my God, Tacos did insane. He got Cocoon, and after the Cocoon, he didn't die. That was crazy, Kenny.
That was overkill and a complete whiff at that as well. Tacos with a pop-off play. It's him and Pain, who KDS have to keep their eyes on. Up the middle of the map they go. Sans relying on the invisibility here. Walls protecting them. Now Creature of the Night will stay afloat, and it was beautiful. Amazing play. Tacos with one of the top 5 probably this month.
Yeah, was that... I'm asking myself now, was that a one-time thing? Or they are able to repeat it again? Because on the paper, they don't seem like they can win this map too much. But yeah, if they do these kind of things, they are able to.
It's amazing what good gameplay can do. Despite how a draft looks, despite how things go down on paper, that is not how Brawl Stars is played. Tacos, a little bit of magic, trying to keep Stmn alive. But right now, all of a sudden, it's looking like a little juice in the veins. Stmn have taken 3 gyms. KDS are nowhere to be found. They can't even enter the grass on their side.
This is a completely different game, right? The Stamina decide to go much aggro, don't double stack, just Taco dance a bit, Pain can get some gems, and they get much better early game.
Wow, just confidence surging through this team. I mean, KDS have not been able to move a muscle. They're going to be dropping a gadget just to get a little visibility. Pain immediately meets them with a fat splatter. Taco's right-hand side this time can't be a star playmaker, and KDS have to take advantage. They have a sandstorm down, a cocooned enemy brawler. Juan Carlos keeps himself alive, gets a frag on top of that as well. Forget being a support brawler, he's getting kills.
Yeah, I think they just decided to go do a completely different strat, right? Maybe they were too afraid to feed, but they were feeding anyway. So it was, and probably they decided, okay, we are feeding, at least we're getting the kills back.
Taco's a man to watch, does have the bats available, cycles, connects with multiple brawlers, now dives in. Oh, can't protect himself as well. Sands going for the purple button just to try and make a little bit of contact, but can't. Juan Carlos there to protect his teammate, even gets the elimination. And now Patchy has to be a playmaker. Hypercharge super available. He sees Pain within striking distance. Oh, and barely clasp onto him. Pain does escape, tiptoeing his way to the back lines. There will be no heist today. Instead, it's STMN matching KDS. We're going to 5.
Yeah, that was crazy. In the paper, they should not have won this game, but this was all about the skill diff, right? They make this kill, they get these gens back from the enemy, and at the end was, I mean, these two games I think was Otis being able to touch 2 hypercharge, not only 1, 2 hypercharge, and the previous game, obviously the Morty was insane.
We're going to set 5. We're going to set 5. I'm so happy, honestly. Stamina is waking up, and they are making it a super close game. What we were asking for all day long, really. KDS already looked like they can walk away out of the semi-final with a 3-1, moving on into the grand final, but Stamina had something to say against it, Kenny.
Really impressive stuff. I think my biggest takeaway is what you said. This really felt like the mechanical side shining, not necessarily the draft strategy. Look at that play out of Tacos. Unbelievable. A little overkill, though, at the beginning. I think there was a little bit maybe of a miscomm because they dropped a Charlie Cocoon and a super from Tara. If one of those two don't go down, that interaction probably completely changes.
Yeah, I would do actually the opposite. You just wait a bit, talk with your teammates. Remember, you have teammates, you need to talk. Just go.
Are you coach? Are you a coach, by the way?
Tara pulls, and then everything is broken, so the Charlie is closer, easy to hit the cocoon. Just hit first the easy skill shot, then hit the hardest later.
Tacos did a really good job on that. Mortis got the most kills, good DPS stats, but in the end, as you just said, it all comes down to team play. Communication was really, really good on their end. Even though Tacos might have had the most kills, he was actually not the one that I was looking at the most from that roster, Kenny.
Who was it for you? Because for me, I just feel like that pop-off play was unbelievable. I mean, no disrespect to the other guys, but Tacos was kind of the man there.
I mean, yes, that pop-off play was really important. Poco almost never went down there.
Sure.
That's super important when you are the temp carrier.
Yeah, I was gonna note that down, that the Poco seems like he was, for me, he was the hero in the shadow, right?
I'm coming around.
We're convincing him.
So he was pretty much doing a lot of pressure on the sides. Also, we saw how he was keeping the enemies alive, teammates alive. He was also finishing allies' kills with the super from the other side of the map. I think all of them played really good, but my MVP this set was for Poco.
Okay, I'm convinced. That was solid.
All of them are the MVPs because they took the set in the end. Let's just put it that way. We're now heading into set 5. Oh, that I get to say that today is so beautiful, honestly. We're on Shooting Star yet again. And if we go by what KDS has shown us so far, they're going to pick up Tignani Piper here, right?
I miss those days so much, Tignani Piper. And then just they try to mirror you and you with Pam. That was insane.
It was those two comps on every single monthly final.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, what can we say? We can expect, yeah, Pierce. You need a sniper. Pierce is kind of new. Piper. Yeah, you need to adapt a bit. Yeah. But even the bans, Bell, Byron, still like all bans, right? I mean, it's going to be interesting.
2 immediately escape. It's Pierce and RT is the other one I'm looking out for. It's shown up in Shooting Star in North America at least a little bit, and in our other weekends as well. I don't know if these two teams piloted a lot. I imagine it's because it's banned a ton. It's something that pro players have certainly prioritized. Angelo, another one that I feel like is a must-remove on this map. So for this 2-3 turn, an important one for STMN, they have to find a way to match Pierce. It is a great brawler. It has counters. I think this is a good start to this, but I wonder if they go for something that hard counters this Pierce on top of that.
RT is a safe and solid pick here. Nanny could be a direct answer to that Pierce, Pedro.
Yeah, I mean, but still, you don't really stop the Pierce, yeah, right? So you need a bit more. Even you go super aggro or you go another more pure sniper like a gas. But now with Dirty, you are kind of if you go the gas, then your mint is all about the last pick. So, but can be a good strat, right? I go these lanes. What?
They're just going to go with two safe options back to back. You can't go wrong with RT or Spike, but they don't really address the Pierce on the other side at all. You mentioned those aggressive picks. Usually what we see here is like Kaz, Mina, or Mortis. I do see them on my screen, but not in the pick phase, Pedro.
But is this shooting stars? Yeah, it must be, but what is that Spike? Yeah, I think maybe as a mid it can work, but the way you can put a Penny against, you can put a Carl. Like, it has so many counters, and Spike, for now, obviously it's really early on the draft, don't counter anything.
Oh, and then Jaeyoung coming out there too. Certainly not something I expected. I mean, support brawler that's been good in previous metas, but hasn't shown up much at all this weekend.
Just like completely opposite to a Goss or a Byron that has shown up quite often. We did not see Jaeyoung this often. You're right with that, Kenny. Goss could still come out here. 8-bit is going to be the brawler of choice. Also an old classic, but not something we saw on Shooting Star in quite some time. For a good reason.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a bad synergy though. The Jaeyoung can speed up a bit the 8-bit so he can get on an aggro position a bit earlier. But it's a weird combination that we don't see too much. I'm still waiting. What's the plan with the Spike?
No telling. I mean, the life plant maybe was the thought into something like a Pierce, but to match that, they just bring in a ton of health points. And now a Sprout, I believe Reddy called him an F-tier brawler earlier, but this was one of those specific situations where I think it's just crazy enough that it might work.
I'd give him D.
Okay, that's nice of you.
That's fine. I do prefer take usually over Sprout simply because it can survive a bit better. So Sprout is going to struggle with that Jaeyoung.
Yeah, but now that means that the Spike is even lane. I'm pretty sure.
No, Sprout's surely going to still play mid.
And Spike on the open against
I think you can tell, dear viewers, that we are confused by this draft. So let's just head straight into the game and actually see what they're doing.
If Pedro's confused, I'm allowed to be confused. So are you folks at home. The extra speed to go for Blue Star. So Jaeyoung already off to the races, making sure they grab that one. Carlos now establishing control in the mid. So KDS going for an immediate defense approach. They're going to be back down. But the one thing we've seen from 8-bit, if he can get a turret on the ground, being on the defensive side doesn't phase him too much.
Yeah, right. They got the blue, now they need to retreat because it's naturally, right, the team that have not the lead is gonna be the one pushing. I don't know how hard can Spike push on a Prince.
Finally,
Spike, sorry.
Finally in a set 5 for the day. People at home have been clamoring for it. I know Sunny is every weekend, and she needed one badly. STMN and KDS certainly providing some entertainment and unique drafts alongside it as well. Juan Carlos rocking this Sprout, something I didn't expect to see. Out of all brawlers that you would utilize to go grab a Blue Star, Jaeyoung in this current meta certainly wasn't that for me either.
Yeah, it's true that we can see that the Jaeyoung, okay, he got the kill, but he was suffering a bit because they didn't have a wall breaker to break the rights, so the Sprout can have a really good push. And Spike is coming to much. They just need to pitch the Spike, and this should be an easy kill for KDS.
They do grab it, as Coach Pedro demanded. Now a little Sprout wall going up, castle being built, Bobby having to work alongside it, Patchy cycling in heals, a lot of supers going down, miss one of those shots, so it will be a takedown for STMN. The largest bounty they could possibly ask for. Patchy has the blue, he's a support brawler. He doesn't have the easiest way to defend himself against something like a Sprout. They need to find a way to work him towards that lane.
Yeah, I mean, we see Patchy following the Sprout over and over everywhere. Sans is going to suffer a bit everywhere he is because in this position where you are in the back, you are going to suffer a bit. If you manage to have a turret on the left, maybe don't, but with a turret, it's going to be a tough last 10 seconds.
All defense for KDS. 8 stars on their noggins, but Pain, low HP, can't push forward. Now Patchy looking for a cutoff. 310 HP is all that's keeping Juan Carlos alive. Makes one tap, needs a second, though. It's a trade, but 4 stars is enough of a separation. KDS sitting a little more comfortably now that they're on match point.
Yeah, I mean, we are going to see the same game once again, right? They are going to get the blue, come and be back. Then it's all about how the Jaeyoung can hold the Sprout because the Sprout has a really good matchup. The Legion with the speed can dodge a bit, get you, if you get range enough with the gadget, probably is gonna get the kill. You need to be careful, but Juan Carlos is the one that make the difference here for Stamina.
Once again, Patchy will hustle up the middle of the map, grab that blue star, and KDS right back on the defense, retreating early. Bobby in the long range, looking for the interaction with Spike. That life plant, great into single shot brawlers, but Pierce is going to shred through that quickly. Oh, and now Pain taking a lot of damage, slowed down. The super in comes as well. Bobby just making light work of that left-hand lane.
Yeah, that Spike is going to suffer the whole game. Bobby now have if Spike get the wall that he's putting now he got the wall, now he can put a bit more of pressure. But as soon as Patchy get one slow, it's going to be another kill.
I can see the disappointment on your face. You are definitely a coach at heart, but now STMN have a chance. Finally in positioning on this left-hand side. Bobby can't shoot around walls. They're trying to pin him on that side. Juan Carlos has a super available, trying to cut off all the enemies. Bobby will have to dash for the right-hand side. Little extra speed from Patchy. A nice juke as well. Super going down for Spike. A heal being out as well. How is Patchy surviving this? Oh, 50 HP. Surely Juan Carlos just goes for it. Finally falls. STMN with the first lead of the set.
Yeah, they got the lead. Now they're going to be the one coming back a bit. Maybe the strat was about getting the lead and doing anything different. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe in the walls, in the top. Spike can do a really good job, but they're not even retreating too much, no? They don't want to be on the corner. They don't want KDS to have too much space, so they are for now holding the mid.
Juan Carlos completely shuts Sands down on the right-hand side. His tacos will be waiting for him. Now Sands can slowly trickle his way up the middle of the map. Juan Carlos with 3 stars in the head. Certainly somebody that KDS have to grab.
Yeah, I have a good news for Stamina. Spike can still die once. Now twice!
Plenty of cushion left. Red roster, sitting pretty. 4 stars ahead as Bobby has to find a way to maneuver around this hypercharge for tacos just for extra insurance. We got what we were asking for all weekend long. Give us a set 5 in North America. This one going at the maximum distance. STMN doubted by many. KDS finally, Bobby has the start to the year he's looking for, but he could have called it slightly early. Sure, round 1's nice. Quarterfinals is great, but if you have aspirations for a Brawl Cup, for a grand finalist to be the first of the year to take a dub, you have to get the job done here.
Yeah, and it's not only about team play this time. I think you all need to pop off skill. Bobby needs to tap that Spike. Juan Carlos needs to touch and put the pressure once again really good. They all rely on the teammates, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get the kills again.
Shaky situation, but Juan Carlos in pain, working this left-hand side. As Patchy once again just hugging this little wall on the bottom side. Bobby now maneuvering to the middle of the map as Tacos remains unmoved, still holding down the right-hand lane. Sands really hasn't been too much of a factor, I would say, especially in that game number 2. They've really been able to cut him out. The Sprout wall, of course, a big part of that.
Yeah, KDS is swapping really good the lanes as soon as they see Sprout trying to attempt an aggression. And on the right, Sands against Tacos is pretty much frozen. It's more about the 2v2 on the mid. Maybe Juan Carlos can get the kill, and he's in a risky position, but
oh, that is devastating. You called it. Should have been a kill. Patchy was dead to rights, and somehow he escapes what should have been a still trap. Now he's dropping speed for his teammates. They're expanding. Certainly a little more confident than they were about 10 seconds ago.
Yeah, it's true that still the objective for Stamina is Patchy, right? He still have 2 on the blue, so he's still enough to get the win. So the objective of Stamina didn't change even that kill was made.
So same goal. Patchy with the blue star. It has to be Stamina's main priority. Gotta feel bad though. They can be the ones sitting on defense, a little more comfortable, and now they just have to fully press on offense.
Yeah, Juan Carlos, I don't know if he should play on the mid. Maybe he needs to push on the lanes, and he needs to make the move right now.
STMN dropping a hypercharge. Bobby cut off on the left-hand side. Oh, he can't move a muscle. The heal's coming out from Patchy. Down he goes. 1 star being the stufferator, but they're stuffed in the bottom of spawn. Oh, nasty work out of Juan Carlos. Sands tries to TP. How on earth did Patchy survive? Nonetheless, Bobby goes down. So close to a perfect start of the year for his squad. Instead, it is STMN shocking North America once again. A poetic grand finals ahead of us. Old guard versus new blood.
I have so many questions. How did that Spike work? First question was not, the win was not because of him, but how did it work? How did Patchy hold alive so low on the right, and who died?
We have to see that in that replay, please. And Pedro, you mentioned how the Spike was suffering. KDS kept rotating Pierce onto Spike, and it was painful to watch.
Wow. Just wow. I mean, there were so many little interactions. Like, Patchy today has been an unbelievable player, especially playing some unorthodox ones alongside that. How many times did we call out, Patchy should have died? Look at this right here, 50 HP. Juan Carlos, of course, has him dead to rights. That's a moment where it didn't go well. But how many times did we see him in that little corner towards the end game there? It was so close. Literally, one play cost them all, but this Sprout Wall was what came in clutch. Nearly nasty work out of Sands to TP there and couldn't quite grab a kill. Patchy with 1,000 HP, but it's Bobby who's actually out of place. That's gotta hurt so bad.
Yeah, I think he expected Patchy to die, so he wanted to get the refrag. Also, he had that white shield, so he wanted to use to time a bit to get the kill, but he don't get the kill and he died for the team.
Yeah,
He did
makes
not
sense.
get
though.
the refrag. That's the huge